Toastmaster, Mr. President, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm going to be talking tonight on what I've called bringing greetings. As some of you are aware, I've been away for about 3.5 weeks or thereabouts. I've been in warm, sunny Lagos, where God lives, Sometimes he comes to the UK to visit. And I've been with my family, and I come from Nigeria originally. I haven't seen my family in like a year, so it was a good reunion. And on the first day, something struck me that sometimes you need to go away, and when you come back, you notice some cultural differences, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Which I did. On the first day back, it was a great family reunion. I have sisters, and they were all there to receive me with their husbands and my nieces and nephews. So it was a great reunion. I was staying at my parents', so they were all there, and we were all going to have dinner. And so it was a day of all hugging, and I think I hugged my mom 4 times in a row, hug her and then move back and hug. And then I decided to crown it all and greet her the traditional way, which would be to go down on both knees. And that would be received with a blessing, which I got. And then we sat down to dinner. And one of my sisters goes, "I'm sure you haven't had to greet anyone in that manner for a long time." And then it struck me, that's true. Back in England, I hardly meet any elderly or older Nigerian that I would have to greet in that manner. So I said yes, and then we shared this funny story. It was about this Nigerian guy who lived in America, and he decided to come home, like me, on a visit with his white American fiance. And like most women would be, she was nervous, she was anxious. How would your family receive me? Will they like me? And he goes, my family, with all due respect to men, but sometimes men don't take what we women take serious. They treat it as trivial. So he goes, "Don't worry, my family are cool, they'll like you. Worst case scenario, just ask me, or if you're not sure, do what I do." Big mistake. Big mistake. Anyway, they got to Lagos. They were met at the airport by his brother. And with guys, it's easy. Oh, meet my brother, meet my fiance, which was meant to be a surprise, by the way. But they got along. And so Trish, the fiance, thought, well, I'll just go with the flow. This is a good start. They got to the family house. The parents were in the living room, so he goes straight in there. And like me, he decided to greet his parents the traditional way. So he went prostrate, chest on the carpet, hands in front of him, and Trish decided to do the same. So off she went, diving on the rug, belly on the carpet, chin on the carpet, and then he got up to turn around and say, "Meet my fiancée Trish." She was doing breaststrokes on the carpet. And that was an awkward moment. And what am I saying here tonight? There are cultural differences which you notice when you go away and you come back. And it might not be useful tonight. Trish made a correct mistake using the word for the day, oxymoron, because obviously she hadn't been advised correctly on what to do. Now, I just thought I'll let you know how we do it back home. You never know, just information. You may never have to do it, but at least you know what it's like. Men would go prostrate and women would go on both knees. And you're only required to greet like that when you're greeting someone much older than you or someone whom you want to show some respect. It's also considered good upbringing and good manners. And if you had to do that in public, if it's not convenient because there's not enough room for you to go all 6'2", or it's not enough room for you to go on your knees, just the gesture would do, and it would be considered sufficient. And of course, a man would go something like that, and a woman would go something like that, and that would do. But if you want to be like another Nigerian guy I know who got pulled over by the police for some traffic offense, and he decided in that split second, what am I going to do to get out of this mess? He got out of the car and he was on his belly in front of the police officer, who thought for a moment, there's something going wrong here, or he's probably lost it. And for that split second, only for the police officer to hear him say, "Officer, I am so sorry. I am really, really sorry. And to tell you how sorry I am, I'm doing this, which I would only do as a sign of respect to my parents or to God." And of course, he met a nice police officer who let him off. I hope there's no police officer here too. Because really, I think he was a bit chuffed that he got all of that. So the guy was let off and he got away. And so I bring greetings the way we do it back home. And I'm glad to be back. It's good to see everyone, a few new faces. And with that, I will say, Mr. Toastmaster, I'm back.